Okay, so we're back, and it's the HushGremlin podcast with CHRISFOCUS and JOKA.
Hola.
Hi,
Hello. Yes. We're back.
how's it going?
This is episode 2.
How's it going?
Come on. This is episode 2, and our topic for today's conversation is going to be about goal setting techniques.
Yeah.
We realized that one of the ways that you can hush those gremlins. First off, before even the gremlins come up, it's usually when you have something that you have your heart set towards
Hit them with
that you
goals.
want to, get to do.
Mhm.
And then the gremlins sort of just come up, now that you have something that you want to do, the gremlins just sort of pop up out of the woodwork,
Because
come at you.
if you come to think about it, if you never have something to do, gremlins will never disturb you
Yeah, pretty quiet.
because they know that there's nowhere you're going.
Devilish little things.
They know there's nowhere you're going. So one
Devilish
thing
little
that's
things.
definitely going to trigger them is the fact that you have stuff that you want to do.
Yeah.
You have goals, you have dreams, you have aims to achieve, and all of that. So yeah.
And talking about goals, really, goals are more like just defined dreams or defined, vision. The things that you want to do with your life, the things that you want to get, you want to know that you've achieved in your lifetime.
Yeah.
And goals are just the ways to break those down into actual tangibles, things that you can see and break down into. For some, it's you break it into habits, you break it into attitudes, you break into tasks and things like that. So that's why we decided that we're going to talk about goal setting techniques.
And yeah.
So we have 2 articles we're going to review.
Yeah. And so yeah, we found these articles. Found one on Indeed. I think the other one is also on Inc.
Inc.com.
Inc. Africa, right?
Is it Inc. Africa? Oh yeah,
Inc.
Africa.
Africa.
Ooh, that was
So yeah.
okay.
There are a number of goal setting techniques that are out there for you to achieve your goals. I didn't even know that there were a lot of them out there. I just always thought it was the SMART goals. I studied project management undergraduate days, and of course
And
SMART
I studied it
goals.
postgraduate days.
Tell them what you studied in undergraduate days,
Let's leave that conversation for
and
another
tell
day.
us how you used to pronounce it.
What do you mean? Let's leave that conversation for another day.
Geophysicist.
Oh, come on. I hate
Moving
you.
on.
Moving on.
Okay, so I was taught SMART goals, right? And I just thought that was it. Because it felt like it was encompassing. It felt like that was enough for you. Like there could be no other thing. It felt like that was all that there was. SMART goals was the giving, and that was all there is to goal setting, the techniques, the methods that you could use, the strategies that you could use, And now that I have been open to other things, I've seen that yes, there are other techniques. There are a lot of ways, and I'm thinking about it also in because I'm having that introspection of these ways that I've even found out. There are probably even other ways that you could probably
Much
come up
more.
come up with by yourself.
Yeah.
Because goals are really about what works for you, really. As much as you're trying to follow rules and you're trying to follow a certain path and you're trying to be dedicated and all of that, what works for you? Because if it's not working for you, then there's a problem.
Well, I think the idea also is to work with things that have been tested and tried.
Yeah.
Tested to be true. Because here we see 10 effective goal setting techniques, not discounting that there are other ones. So, for example, before I launched my coaching career, I'd come up with a technique of my own for goal setting called the marble technique.
I think I know about that one.
Yeah, so called the marble technique. And apart from that, when I then got into coaching, class, of course, I'd known about SMART as well because I'd been in a number of business seminars.
SMART is a popular one.
Very popular, yeah. But I got into coaching class and I saw that, there were some other techniques, not specified. But even I was still surprised by some of the techniques that we found here.
Yeah,
like a lot, like the whoop. And I'm like,
whoop whoop.
What? It's a bit surprising. But yeah, I think I agree with what you said about what works for you first, primarily. But I also think what has been tried and true. I mean, if it has worked for other people, why not base off of what has worked for them,
and see
and move on from there rather than reinventing the wheel like the mentor of man will say.
Yeah.
So do it,
But
Dev.
but I guess we could also just do it as what worked for you in all of this, right?
Yeah,
Like
despite the tested and tried methods,
mm,
still looking at which of them
at least you're not just starting
sets the bar for
from
you.
ground zero. You
Yeah,
have
to start
a
doing that
framework
research.
already that you could work with, and
Yeah.
even though you're jumping and trying to test which ones
Mm,
work for you, you already have a framework that you know that okay, if this is not working for me, it's just because it's not working for me. It's not
yeah,
that it doesn't work or it's not effective.
yeah.
Let me move on to the next one. So yeah,
Okay.
we got a couple of them. We'll just run through them and
Yeah.
see what we can insights that we can get from them.
Yeah. So we have 10. The first one is, of course, the SMART.
The one that takes the
Uh,
meats. Yeah.
so it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound.
Yep.
What it means that you're able to be specific about your goals, define it carefully and clearly, know exactly what it is that you're going for. Um, the next one is measurable, which for me, measurable and specific usually go hand in hand, because if you're specific, you're able to
You're
say,
able to
I want
measure,
to
able
have
to
10 minutes of 10 pages of book reading
mm-hmm.
every day.
Yeah.
That's measurable and that's specific as well.
Yeah.
Something that you can measure, something that you can tick a box off of to say, okay, I have done this.
Yeah.
That could be in minutes, that could be in pages, that could be in whatever. It could be in drops of water, liters of water, it could be in
Steps,
kg,
yeah.
all of that. Make
Yeah.
sure it's measurable. Then there's achievable, things that are, for me again, achievable and realistic feel like invariably the same thing, because you should actually be able to meet this goal.
Yeah.
Achievable, like it's possible. But I think achievable is just like it's possible for the general populace, and realistic is it's possible for you. I'm not sure, but
I feel like achievable is general populace, yes, and also I kind of feel like it also trickles down to personal capacity somehow. I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
or what's possible
what's
within the
possible with
current
what you have right now,
yeah.
right? Your current reality of sorts. Yes, I think I was talking about how was it this morning? We were talking about how yes, there's the potential, but then there's what is right now, what you have right now, what is right now.
Right now.
So, and as much as you're going to set for potentials, there's space for that, which is the dreams and setting the big goals and the big dreams and all of that. But you are trickling it down now to what is achievable, which is you want to. Let me find one of my dreams, which is I want to build a football field someday in future. Fictional.
Because I'm like, ooh,
and I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking, can I do that right now? No, I definitely can't. There's no way in this world that I can do that right now.
Right now.
But then it's possible. It's not like it's not possible.
It's not possible.
I could do that someday in future. But then what can I do right now that is
think
achievable for me right now?
That's the achievable part. But then the realistic part is with what you currently, the access to resources you currently have, it's not realistic for you to do it,
build a football field right now.
So I think that's it. So like they say, ensure you can actually meet the goal when it comes to realistic goals. And then of course then there's time bound. Time bound is just like, time frame. You always ensure there's a time frame to it.
It's more like being your own transparency partner.
Oh, exactly.
So
accountability. It's not just I want to do this.
Yeah.
It's I'm going to do this by Monday. I'm going to do this
30th
by January.
This
yes.
month,
I do that when it comes to coaching. You have to tell me you want to do it in December. What day in December do you want to do it? What time do I need to check in with you to see that you've actually done it and you've had it done? Yeah. So time bound.
Stuff like that.
And here we're seeing that some goals sometimes they go from smart to smarter. Which are the extra letters are evaluate and readjust. So evaluate is regular time, which is included in my marble technique. Regular time to check up on the progress of your goal. And for us, where we do what's happening, were you able to do this? For the tiny tasks, what happened? Why weren't you able to do it? How were you able to achieve it? What do you think would have sped up the process, or extended the scope, or delivered more on the value? Sort of like project management triangle. And then we adjust, adapt your plan as needed, because we're in life, everything is constantly growing.
You got to.
And you can't really project for everything that would grow in your own things that are out of your control.
Yeah. A lot of things are definitely even out of your control. A lot of things.
Yeah. Okay,
so yeah, we have away from the smart goals, which is hard goals. Calm down.
I never heard of this one before.
We have to break it down, because the fact that we're calling it hard does not mean that it's just
actually hard.
It's just it's just the, what do they call them, acronyms?
Yeah, the
hard
acronyms.
Goals. So the hard goals, we have the H, which is for heartfelt, and which is, if you really want to learn a new skill, imagine yourself in that space of being able to use that skill. Push yourself forward, shoot yourself forward into that future, and be able to be in that space where you are being able to use that new skill. You want to learn driving, right? Imagine yourself being in that driver's seat and driving a car. You could even go further and let it be your dream car that you're driving, or that car you've seen around, right?
We
so
heartfelt. Have this in personal development, into personal development space, when it comes to life coaching and things like that. We have in HR, we have this theory, motivation theory, and I think this is very tied to that. I think a lot of it, is tied to several theories such as that, motivation theories and things like that.
So yeah, the A is the animated, which is visualize what achieving your goal would look like. I feel like this is still ties to the heartfelt sort of, because you have to see everything. You have to be able to. That visualization is very key.
It is,
it's
and then it's also a very it is quite a successful tool when it comes to goal setting when we do that in sessions, because we have this chronological steps, neurological steps. Pardon me. 6 neurological steps, and you find that before you even get to the third step, you can see the emotion pouring off of the person, because you can already see, and then even their tenses tend to change. People are already saying themselves in that future, and it's very powerful. It is very, very powerful.
Yeah, because I know I was talking about watching some videos the past week, and it was some coaching kind of videos, and one of the exercises, because it was actual coaching sessions, we didn't an audience, but it was a closed audience of other coaches as well, and what the exercise ended mostly, I think two of the people that were coached, it was the coach telling them to give him a call right now, right there, and 3 years into the future of all the things they've spoken about, and tell me what's going on right now. 3 years into the future, and it was just like, just start with hello, Rich, holy, sorry for that, but just tell me what is going on right there, and you're just trying to
who you
bring
are in
up,
that moment,
right?
Into
The kids are doing great. This is happening. The business is wonderful right now.
Exercise.
That was really good.
I tell you,
it was really good.
A lot of my how would I put it, exercises and activities when it comes to coaching people, sometimes out of their fears, sometimes out of that their headspace, usually involves a lot of visualization. So in as much as I'm a creative writer, I encourage writing. Visualization is like one powerful tool that it's just the power of imagination, like it feels like the throne room of the mind is in the power of imagination that it has. So it gives profound results every single time.
So we got required, and if possible, connect your goals to something that's necessary for you.
Yeah.
You want to. Me now, if I want to learn, what do I want to learn? Let me see. Okay, so let's say I want to learn how to make a dikai kong.
Okay.
For instance.
How can you make that required?
How can I make that required?
You would not be able to eat your next meal if you don't learn how to make a dikai kong.
That's hard though.
That's hard. That's very hard. That is a hard goal.
Very hard.
Hard. We're going hard.
I think I'm going to have to drop the dikai kong feet.
But that makes it, required. And
yeah,
makes
right.
It something that
this is something. If I don't do this, this would not happen. And that's honesty to yourself. Very key. Very key. And then difficult. Set a goal that challenges you. Okay, it's key. It's key that you are not being all redundant with your goals, and then just set, because you're going to be bored out of your mind eventually. So it is important that you are setting goals that is going to push your limits, and not push your limit, because we still have achievable and realistic. Not push your limits in the sense that it is going way out of there where you have to do things that are going to be against your own values and your own principles. Even do things that are within the confines of your values and your principles, but still pushes your mind, pushes your abilities to their limits, pushes them off of
The
whatever comfort
alignment
zone the
triangle.
align there that you've built for yourself. So yeah, difficult. That's what it means that
You're already
setting
merging the smart goals and the
challenging.
hard goals
Yes,
already.
because it's what it is. So
Well,
yeah.
yeah, you can merge, but these are just techniques that
Because
we're saying
because
that.
I feel like it's goal setting techniques, and I just feel like they just always tie around.
Of course,
They just always one tie around them.
each
They're
other.
just dots that are connected.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one we have is the
Whoop
whoop.
whoop.
Is the whoop goals.
Eep,
So
whoop.
what is wrong with you? I'd never heard of the whoop goals. I've
Eba.
never heard of hard goals and some other goals setting techniques here. But so the whoop stands for wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan. It's also an acronym. Um, and from what we can see here, it's said that it's great for stopping a habit one might no longer want.
Yeah.
So make sure your wish is exciting, almost like the heartfelt,
Yeah.
and animated.
Make sure.
Then outcome, imagine the best possible result of
Or
achieving your goal.
Yeah.
This is something I also try to help people do, because a lot of times as human nature dictates that people are thinking, or sometimes people are thinking, what's the worst possible results that happen.
Yeah.
And I find out that this uncomfortable question tends to change the scope for them, because I ask them, okay, you've identified what's the worst possible result.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what is the best possible
result?
result? Go as far as your mind can achieve. And they come back feeling better, like, okay, then I can go ahead and do this anyways.
Like
this is not so bad.
Yeah.
This is not so bad.
Yeah.
If once you focus on the better parts of what you're going for, it's easier to handle than looking at what is the worst. Then there's also obstacle. Consider what might prevent you or slow you down. I think we do this when we're doing business.
When you're doing SWOT, for instance,
yes, SWOT
or
analysis,
doing
yes, obstacles. This is just more personal.
Yeah.
So obstacles, what are the things that could stop you, that could be speed bumps in your path? And then plan. Find solutions to all of those obstacles that may interfere with your goal, and then just go into your goal and do. So I think this is just like an adapted version of the SWOT for personal goals.
So I feel like let's just run through a number of them. If you want to find this techniques, it's definitely there. We are in 2022.
Yeah,
the internet is for everybody, right?
We should probably put this link as well in the
description.
definitely.
So you find it in the description, so you can check it out. So we have the OKR goals. Now this OKR is very funny because I was doing
more
some
for business for me.
I've
never seen it for personal goals.
I was doing some product management classes. I was just taking a few of those classes because I was just trying to look at what connection they have with product design and all. And this OKR is top of whatever metrics.
Yeah.
So it was funny to find it here because and by the way, OKR, like you would know, is for objectives and key results. And they use it a lot in product management. In all of the tech products you see out there right now, OKRs are is one of the greatest metrics that they use for a lot of them. So OKR goals,
this is key results.
Yeah, easy. And key results.
Then we have micro goals. That's we do WIG as well. Your wildly important goal, which is like maybe like the goal, the one thing you want to achieve, maybe in the next 50 years of your life, the next 30 years, is usually a widely important goal, and then you break it down into smaller goals. So which is what I think the micro goals are. You just have one big goal, your WIG, and then you set multiple smaller goals that can add up to
where you're going to.
Yeah,
and then we got the backward goals as well, which I feel like it's just going to be a reverse engineering.
Yeah, basically.
You're just going to the future, 50 years, what is there, and then bringing it back.
Work back.
It's
more like the same with the micro goals.
With the micro goals, so you're just working everything back.
The example here says you want to get a promotion, but the promotion requires that you have a master's degree, and a master's degree requires that you have 2 years in university. Yeah. And then having 2 years in being accepted to university means that you have to pass a test, a GRE test, or in our case it would be JAM, push-JAM, but we don't do that when it comes to masters.
No, we don't.
Except you do maybe like an exam, postgraduate exam, or you have to have a postgraduate diploma depending on your grades in your foundational degree. But yeah, that's just like reverse
Inversing.
engineering.
So yeah, you know what you do, and then the values
Based
based
goals is
goals,
another technique.
which you know, goals may be easier to achieve if they align with values that are
Important
important
to
to
you.
you. And I think
Yeah.
I already mentioned
Yeah,
values
yeah,
and
yeah,
principles
yeah.
here
We
now,
have that.
because
We have
your
that.
values
Triangle of
cannot be
alignment.
shifted, they
Yeah,
cannot be moved
yeah, yeah.
around, they just
Mm,
have to stay where they
it's
are.
done.
So
So
values based goals.
if I just want to put in chip in quickly that when you want to assess your values, because a lot of people don't actually identify what their values are.
Mm.
So one of the key things you have to do first off is highlight three value systems or three value concepts that are highly important to you, 3 to 5, just off the top of your head. Write it down, pop 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 pop. Then look at all the goals that you have set. Do they
See
align
which
with
ones
that?
are like,
Do they
yeah,
align with that?
yeah.
Yeah, so we also have another goal setting technique,
Lock.
which feels like more of a theoretical stuff. So in research, this is very important, lock and Latham.
Mm.
So, but we have the lock and Latham 5 principles of goal setting that includes clarity, challenge, commitment, feedback, and
And
task
task
complexity.
complexity.
So I think the first four, clarity, challenge, commitment, and feedback, I think we've spoken about
Yeah.
in the other types of goal setting techniques. But for the task complexity, um, it says that be sure your goal isn't beyond your ability to complete,
Yep.
which ties in with the realistic and
Realistic,
achievable.
achievable. Yeah.
It is not beyond your ability to
Something you can do
complete.
right
It
now
is not beyond your ability
and
to
will add up
complete. Yeah.
eventually. And then one word goals.
Well, I think I really like this one. I said that I'm like,
Yes.
yes. Where have you been?
So
Yeah.
because I'm pro simplicity.
Yes, sir.
Pro
Yes. We know.
pro declutter.
We know
So
organization maester.
yeah, so find one word that describes your goal and use that as your motivation. That's
Very,
something you
very
have to sit down and just
simple.
do and
Yeah.
reason what one word.
But I feel like it's the easiest thing to do. So
Is it?
I want to learn a language. You can just say your one word is Spanish,
Mm.
or knowing what love is in Spanish, or you
Yeah.
can just say love Espanol. That sort of thing gives you an
So
idea of the
every time you
entirety of the
just
goal. You're just you have it
that
on
word
your, you
feels
can
like a trigger.
visualize, which is like the last thing we're
Yeah,
talking about,
yeah.
visual goals. You can visualize and just have those key one word big descriptions on your wall,
That reminds
past the wall,
you, that takes
or
you
on the wall
back.
that you constantly walk past. So it's love Espanol, sell, marry,
Yeah, yeah.
all of those goals like that, and you can just have one word, and it makes it easier for you, and it makes it easier to build a vision board as well.
Yeah.
Like the last
And then
technique, which is
visual
visual goals.
right?
Yeah. So the next resource we found is one by Inc.Africa, and it talks about how to use the 2-week rule to become remarkably successful and optimize your bucket list.
A bucket list there.
Do you have a bucket list?
Not yet.
You don't?
I have in my head.
I have several.
I've not written down. How do you have several bucket lists?
Okay, so I usually have
You
like
have
one
carried the
particular one.
buckets.
Come on. I actually have one, travel, eat certain food, learn language, which I feel like I'm even hitting my language buckets already. I need to fill in new languages. And somebody
right.
challenged me recently, a movie I was seeing, something about, take some new languages. But I have a bucket list, but because it was pasted on my wall back home, and now I moved, so I don't have it again. So I have like a new note. Yeah. So I need to check that again.
I need to create a bucket list.
Please
put it
do.
out of my head. Let's put
Yes, put it out of your head. So the 2-week rule is very interesting, and it's interesting because it tells a story of someone who wanted to
run was
bike.
it?
I think it
Yeah,
was
was it bike?
biking
Okay, yeah,
or
bike.
mountain climbing. I can't remember. And he goes to meet someone who's a professional mountain biker to
get
teach
tips.
him, how to do that.
Yeah.
For a mountain climb, and then he gave him a task, and he only gave him a training plan for the first 2 weeks. It was really interesting for me and exciting because I had just taken a course. I taken a course for a while ago by Emeka Nobis, and the challenge he gave us in, I think, the second class was to write a 2-page resource. So it's really for content people, coaches, consultants, those of us who are in that space, record a 2-minute video or a 2-minute audio or 2-page resource, something, and sell it. So just write 2 pages. And I looked at the feedback, went back to the page and to see, those of us in the group and the class, and then everyone was just saying, from 2 pages, I've written 15 pages. From 2 minutes, I've got into 15 minutes and I've compiled and I've sold. So I think it's just the challenge. If you're able to scale beyond the 2 weeks, that to just that mark of very minute metric, you're able to scale up into so much more. And it's something I already adopted.
There's this concept of on when you talk about procrastination and how to stop procrastination, really tell you that just tell your brain that you want to do one thing,
just that one.
You want to go running. Tell your brain that you just want to put your shoe on. That's all. Just let your brain learn that you just want to put your shoe on. Or take a step outside the door. Right? You just want to, or you just want to get off the bed. Just tell your brain that that's what you want to do. You just want to get up the bed.
Just stand up first.
I just want to see something. I just want to get up the bed and see something. And from there, it just goes on like that. So you get up the bed and then your brain can't just stop you anymore. You just keep going like that. So it just feels like it's the same thing with the 2-week rule, where it just feels like you're just telling your brain that I just want to do this for 2 weeks. I just want to see. I want to test the waters, right?
Let's see you make it through that.
Yes.
That 2 weeks. Those 2 weeks.
And if you can make it through that, definitely.
And we'll see. Without it, I feel like when you're able to scale up, to that 2 weeks without so much more external motivation, already you're in the zone. For this, in this case, which is bodybuilding exercise, it means that it's a rigorous. Sorry, the first 2 weeks are usually like the most rigorous part. You have stretched yourself. You have done so much.
You have sores.
So you've broken through the mental barriers and the physical barriers where your body has relaxed so much.
Physical barriers. Because I remember when I went to the gym, I didn't go to the gym again.
So he says next time just commit to 2 weeks, which is what our final thought, I think.
So just commit to 2 weeks, right? You have that goal, what you want to do. You've set everything, without using Smart, Whoop, or any of those things. And then if your goals are set up for 6 months, 3 months, or anything, or any time bound like that, commit to 2 weeks first of all. You've trickled it down, right? You've done the work, you've done the homework, and you've trickled it down to what you're going to do daily. Now pick those daily, pick the next 2 weeks and commit to that. No, you're not needing too much of external motivation. You're not needing too much of supervision. You're not needing anymore. Just commit to those 2 weeks. Do everything you're going to do in those every day for those 2 weeks. Commit to them and see what comes out of those 2 weeks. At the end of those 2 weeks, at the other side of those 2 weeks, it's going to help you. Your evaluation is going to help you with, is this what I even want to do for the next 3 months of my life?
Yes, exactly. Right? You're able to, feedback. All of that feedback.
Is this what I want to use the next 3 months of my life to do? Right? Should I just drop this and try something else? At least those 2 weeks has given you that. You already know that, and if you're going to continue with that, you're already, like you said, in that zone. You have something to continue with already. You're already triggered. You already have momentum. You just need to keep at that momentum and keep going. So actually it's a win-win. It is a win-win.
It is. And you've done something new for a lot of people who the goals are, to see if they are capable of doing it. You've assessed yourself and seen that you're able to do this. So it's not that it's outside of your scope of what is possible, what you're capable of.
And I think it takes away that I can't find a word now. That's sort of abstraction of how when you want to do something, but you feel like it's so Herculean and so big, and you don't even know where to start from. You don't know what to do. I feel like the 2 weeks will take it. That's taking out of that cake. Yeah, like now you already see that it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Do you get, like, it's not that you were thinking it would take you so much. It would take so much effort, and it's so terrifying. There's that fear and all of that. There's anxiety, but then you've gone into it and you've seen it like, nah, it's not that bad. Let's do this. We can do this. Like, right? Yeah. So yeah.
And it actually shuts the gremlins up. The first
super shut up.
That is the greatest shut up you can ever give to a gremlin. Like, yo,
the gremlins are looking, oh no,
I did it. I did it.
Save us.
So we've reviewed, goal setting techniques. We've seen things that you can do, things that are possible.
Yep.
And we hope that this inspires you and helps you get you on your way.
Get inspired.
You can reach out to us on all social media platforms as UT on your in the descriptions.
And
Wherever
you
you're
find, if
listening
you
to
want to
this
send us
from.
a mail,
Yeah,
a
you can
love
send us an
letter,
email.
we're
Yeah, love
here.
letter. I would love to read from you, hear from you.
Yeah.
Send us voice notes. Send us a picture of yourself doing something you've always wanted to do. Give us your your super passion stories. Would really love to
We love
know.
it.
So thank you very much for joining in. And we'll see you next episode.
We'll definitely see you. Have yourself a lovely, lovely time. Chris,
Bye.
Focus, Joker. Bye bye.
Toodles.